Welcome, guys, to the lab. This is the first episode of a podcast I'm starting. We're going to talk about life and boards. Honestly, this is just an excuse to hang out and chat with the people I watch on YouTube and that I look up to. Joey is somebody who has been a huge, warm welcome to me in the electronic space, so I'm more than happy to have him on as the first guest. But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. You're going to make me blush.
I have something to tell you. I'm going to be joining you in parenthood.
Really?
Yes. We're having a kid.
Congrats. Wait,
next
this is
month.
how you're telling people?
No.
Well, next
only
month?
you. This is only how I'm telling you.
This isn't going out on the podcast then?
It is, yeah.
It
will be.
It is?
But this is not, this
Oh
this
my
podcast
gosh.
won't be how people figure out. This will be released maybe next month at some point or in a few weeks.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to drop the news
Wow.
on a stream. So yeah.
So this obviously is your first. Do you know gender and stuff?
Yep. It's a girl.
Oh, congrats,
Thank
man.
you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you. I'm super
I'm
hyped.
super happy for you both.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
We're ready. You know, that was the goal.
Yeah,
But definitely like crazy in terms of like time. Like what this is actually one of the things I want to talk to you about. Like pick your brain a bit about, cuz like how do you do, I guess so you're full-time YouTube, right?
I'm full-time YouTube. Yeah, I wasn't just a little bit of background, I guess.
Okay, sure.
I worked a full-time job since the age of for a specific company since the age of I think I was either 19 or 20. It was when I met who was going to be wife, who was my girlfriend at the time. And I stayed at the same company for around about 9 years or so. And my wife fell pregnant. And in 2020 is when I started Joey Does Tech and the YouTube channel as a whole.
Okay.
And in 2022, I was at that same company. I was in my 9th year, and my wife, was pregnant. And I had a decision to make. And I had applied for a job in a repair shop.
Oh, okay.
And I'd done just over 2 years of Joey Does Tech at this point, and I was like, I kind of need to expand on my knowledge and practice a little bit more.
Yeah, I see.
Because the only time that I've worked before that, like from 2020 up to 2022, I was working like 7 days a week. I was doing my full-time job for like 5 days, and then Joey Does Tech would be the Saturday and the Sunday.
Wow, yeah.
So we had lots of time together in the evenings.
Yeah.
Sometimes, we'd have the odd day on a Saturday or Sunday, but for majority of the time it was, I really want out of the 9 to 5, and I want to pursue YouTube and stuff as a full-time thing.
Yeah, for sure.
At the time as well, I said I wanted a repair shop. I used to watch a lot of Northridge Fix.
Yes, yeah.
And like him, hate him.
Yeah.
His business sense,
Dude,
and the way he makes money is incredible.
Yes.
So I used to really, I really used to admire him. And I thought to myself, that's what I kind of want. I want to continue on this YouTube journey, but also use it as a marketing funnel to hopefully set up a repair shop. And that was the dream. That was like my big goal.
Yeah.
And then 2022 came, and I applied for the job in the repair shop because, again, I wanted to be able to fast track that knowledge. And I thought being in and amongst it would be the best way to learn. Yeah. Because I was working in IT, I was in first line support. Yeah.
You know how it works to learn in tech. You gotta be in it.
It's like anything, right? The more you're in it, the quicker you're going to learn. It's like learning new languages. Yes. If you're in a different country that speaks that language, it becomes a lot easier. Yeah. So 2022, I applied for the job to work in a repair shop. My application, I used my YouTube channel as a CV.
Good.
So what they were looking for was phones and tablets. And I had no experience in phones and tablets. I was just pretty much console stuff.
It's closest to tablets, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly, right? Yeah. So I kind of said, look, I don't do phones or tablets. However, I run a YouTube channel. This is what I can do. You can physically see it for yourself. This is my, how competent I am.
It's a good resume.
Right? I thought so. I'm not just going to tell you. I'll show you. Look, you can see what I'm doing and the methods that I use, and if you like it, whatever. So we had a real good interview. It was just a general chit chat, and it was for, like I said, there's a shop called Rocket Repairs in where I live in the local town.
I came across that channel at one point, and I saw. I was like, what? I was so mind blown. I was like, Joey works at a shop? Because it was like later on. I think it was like not even that long ago, like a few months ago that I came across it.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was like, the person who owned it was like, oh, this sounds like such a great opportunity. I have a YouTube channel, but I don't have time to, this is what he was saying, I don't have time to record everything, edit it and post it. Like I've got a shop to manage. And there was two other people working there at the time. So, we just agreed and said, look, I'll do the stuff for you, the YouTube stuff. Anyway, it kind of just went quiet for a while. He actually ended up not getting back to me after the first interview. He basically said, you got the job, but then just like kind of ghosted me. And it was because I was very demanding on like what I wanted. And the reason behind that is because my wife was about to have our child, and I was leaving a job that I'd been very secure in for 9 years. Yeah. And I had my wage. Yeah. I wanted that wage.
Yeah. I mean, and
it was very hard. Yeah.
It's fair.
I mean,
to some extent,
it's kind of fair. However, I think from his perspective, which I completely understand, it's like, well, you don't know how to change a phone screen or a tablet screen. This is what I'm hiring for. And you want to be paid more than what anyone else was.
Sure, yeah.
Like his other techs that were there, it would be more than what they were on. And he was like, I can't do that. The argument being that then it was like, okay, well, I'll run the YouTube channel as well, and hopefully we can bring that, some income in from that, and yada yada. So I think at this point maybe I was on around 15,000 subscribers or something along those lines with Joey Does Tech.
Yeah.
And anyway, I carried on. I didn't hear anything from him, and then a couple months later he wrote me a message and said, I'm really sorry. I spoke to our accountant and they said it would have been a really dumb decision.
Sure, yeah.
I should have gone with my gut and hired you. Do you still want the job? And I turned around and I said, yeah, of course. And this was a month before my wife was about to give birth. So it was all like happening. I had to risk this whole 9 years of comfort.
That's
and I was
intense.
Really comfortable in my old job.
Yeah.
It was second line IT support. And I was very proud of what I did. I didn't really necessarily work extremely hard towards the end because I've been there for 9 years. I was a bit frustrated with the whole situation, but if somebody wanted something done, they knew they could come to me and I would get it done. So I would kind of do, I don't want to say bare minimum, but I would do the minimum that I could essentially.
Not necessarily throwing in the towel, but as close to that as you can get without throwing in the towel.
I was just very stale, and I was very and it does hurt me to say it because I like to consider myself very proud of my work and stuff.
Yes, but work ethic.
It was in quite a corporate job, and you weren't massively recognized for what it is that you were doing. So I kind of just let go a little bit.
I can absolutely relate to that probably more than you'd think. I had a period where I was very close to burnout just with web development. I was doing mostly front end at first, and then I did some back end, and then I was sort of doing full stack. And then I was that guy. I turned into that guy, like you said, who people could go to if they
wanted something done, they would go to you.
If they needed something done or something fixed. Like troubleshooting has always been a big thing for me. So that's what I was good at with web stuff, was like when there's really difficult problems to figure out, people would just, throw them my way and rely on me. And like that, I started just getting pushed towards management, and I hate management.
Management wasn't your thing? No?
The problem is I'm okay at it, right? So I sort of naturally in a group setting fall into that sort of role.
You're also a very nice guy.
I appreciate that. Likewise,
with management,
Joey, coming from you,
you got to have the two. You got to have the two with management, though. You have to switch on. Like there's times where you need to switch on, and that can actually destroy people. It's really, really difficult, man.
Dude, I learned that the hard way because I was too nice all the time, and project management or just management in general. If you're too nice, you gotta you have a lot to learn. If
people take advantage, man, as well. People take a lot of advantage of you.
And your time, and it's not even I love they're my friends, the people I work with. They're they're all super close friends. Even if I stop working there one day, we're gonna be tight. It's not gonna be a bad relationship, but but it's definitely it's draining, and you in that role, if you're too nice, you just sort of get people just take your time if you give it to them, kind of thing,
Absolutely.
And so I started to have to, I had to learn to say no, start to set boundaries and things, have a work-life balance, and I started doing all that stuff. But project management was just, dude, not for me. And I everything you said, that's exactly how I felt with it. And I'm doing the repair stuff on the side too, and it's
that's crazy. Very similar, hey? Very similar. I had exactly the same sort of experience. So I mentioned that obviously I was in IT support, but I started in a call center for a big energy company. And then the opportunity came up to climb the ladder. I climbed the ladder.
Yeah.
And then we created this retention team. So then I became a team leader. And there was arguments about being a manager and a team leader and the difference and all of those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then, one of the hardest challenges that I had to face was making, I think it was around about 18 people redundant. But the redundancy was you either have to leave or you find a job in a different area of the business. Okay. So it was like very, very, it was a way of them getting around it, the business, the company getting around it, rather than having to actually offer redundancy pay. It was like, you can keep your job, but it will be for less money in a different department. So it was kind of like, so that was really, really tough to tell people, because I was pretty much like you. We had a really, really good team. And it was, I found it really, really tough to grow a backbone, essentially.
Yes.
Because I just felt like it wasn't in me naturally, but I also think I was taught a little bit incorrectly from people above in this big corporate business who, they say, no, you have to say this, you have to do that. Whereas,
fortunately, I was spared the corporate aspect of it, but I had sort of the opposite problem, because I joined the team when we were there was 5 of us in the company, and it grew over the last, how long has it been now? 8 years? Has it been 8 years? To 30 to 40 people, I think now.
Wow, okay.
Which, I don't recommend
it's so funny you're saying
growing as a business funny.
It's so funny, because that business went through the exact same thing, not on the smaller scale of 5 people.
Sure, but
I think when I joined the company, it was around about maybe 60 or 70 employees. And by the time I left, it was over 1,000.
Wow,
and that was in a 9-year period.
That's a big growth.
It was the same sort of thing. It was like such a big amount of growth in a short amount of time.
Dude, in management,
that they just weren't ready for.
Dude,
and then they're chucking people into management left, right, and center, and then exactly,
bad.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
because they're trying to keep up with it, but they don't know how to handle it, and then it just it's a little bit of an implosion, to be honest.
I think that was the most draining thing for me, was as our team scaled and stuff. That was when I started to do project management and stuff, and I just realized I couldn't rely on anybody but myself for getting stuff done for my own deadlines and my own timelines and things. And I don't like being in that position where I'm forced to bully other people to do,
you're not in control.
Delegate.
You're not in control in that aspect.
Yeah,
right?
That's part of what management is you have to you let go of control to some extent, and you have to trust the people you're delegating stuff to. And it started just getting weird, because they're my friends. But then I just get frustrated with them.
It's really difficult, man. It's really difficult.
And
it becomes a lot of politics and all of those sorts of bits,
So I love YouTube and I love repair.
I think we can both agree on that. Exactly. But you also, I was actually discussing this in stream recently, where I think it might have even been yesterday, or it might have been Thursday last week. Somebody asked if I do this full time, and I said, content creation is my thing. Whereas if you look at a lot of the other tech YouTubers in the space, everyone else offers repair as a service. So, and in a genius way, which they all do, and I give credit to every single one of them, is including yourself, is using YouTube as like a marketing tool, which is what I spoke about earlier with the whole Northridge fix thing.
Right.
That was the ultimate dream for me.
Right.
But when I worked in the repair shop, I saw the stress that was involved with customers. It was a little bit different because it was local, right? And it was a shop setting, and it was in the middle of a town. So it was you'd have everybody coming through, people, drunks and all sorts of bits and bobs. So there was an element there that added a lot of stress, being local and walk-ins. If it was a repair as a service that was which got mail-in only, I could see that being a little bit of a different ball game, but it still comes with obviously its massive stress points.
Yes.
So for me, it was more so I don't want that now. I completely done a U-turn after working in the repair shop for a year and a half. The owner didn't work there. He had another job.
Yeah.
So our customers were our responsibility. So it was essentially we all had our own customer base anyway, and our own little repair shop within the repair shop. So I quickly learned what it was like. And whilst I think I've always been really, really good with customers and I have great customer service, there's the one thing I'll say about myself, and that's it, is the customer service aspect.
Yeah.
I saw the stress that came with it. And very much like you said earlier about people taking advantage of your time if you offer that time, and it's you can't really give up when you're working on jobs. You've got a time limit, especially if you're not charging for investigation fees.
Yeah,
there's
get off
so
a bench fee
many
or
different
things
things
like
to.
that.
Yeah. There's so many different things to consider.
Dude, I think for me, so I like 100%. I see where you're coming from with that, and first of all, I have to give you props for like it. It's kind of crazy to me.
I've not done it, mate. I've not done anything massive. Honestly, I promise you.
Joey, you can't.
I've not done anything massive.
Joey's just super humble. I can't.
No.
I can't compliment you.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I kind of just worked hard, and that was it. I think I spent a lot of time failing on YouTube.
But
playing
dude,
games.
that's what I mean. Like, I gotta give you props that like the fact that you, I don't know, like I have so much respect for your content creation, and like I see how, as a content creator and as someone who really is enjoying making videos and really starting to, it's now more like 50-50 business wise for me, YouTube repairs, and I'll get to that, and it really ties into what you just talked about. But yeah, I downsized the amount of work I was doing quite a bit repair wise. For a lot of the reasons you mentioned. But yeah.
And do you only operate, sorry to interrupt, but do you only operate as a mail-in?
So that's part of it. Yeah. So I didn't used to.
Okay.
That's the biggest change I've made in the last year, since starting the YouTube channel. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, dude, your ideas for content creation, it's just, you clearly like just live and breathe content.
I don't know, man.
And
I view it.
It's such a beautiful thing to watch, because I draw a lot of inspiration from you as a content creator, because like you said, you're one of the few repair people in the space who is really, really focused on content, and it's people like you and Tronics Fix, and you know that group of content creators who are like really making like polished content, and like dude, you're
I don't know about my content being polished, man. Shout out
for
to my
the
mate Vince as
repair
well, by the way.
space, Joey. Shout out to who?
My mate Vince.
Oh, my mate Vince. Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He's man, he's
I
an
watched.
absolute legend.
I need to go watch more of his videos, because he's not popping up on my feed anymore. But I religiously watched my mate Vince.
Yeah.
A few years
And that's
ago.
where a lot of my inspirations come from. Is a mixture of all of those people that we've pretty much just mentioned.
Yeah.
I can't not give credit to Northridge Fix.
Yes, same here.
I have to give credit to Alex. I have to give credit to Steve. You know.
Yeah.
Both Steve's Sticks Fix, by the way, because we were pretty head and head back in the YouTube days as well, a couple of years ago.
That's awesome.
So I think he would agree that we saw it as a little bit of a friendly competition. And then he had a couple of videos. I think he'd done some like Pokemon Game Boy cartridge repair videos, and he just took off. I saw the numbers. I woke up and I said, "No, he's gone.
No,
like, that's
it's
done
too late
now."
for me.
Yeah, I was like, it's done.
It's
The competition's over. I bow down to it. But yeah, and like I said, Steve at Tronics Fix, my mate Vince. I can't forget Elliot, the Retro Future. He's been like incredible for everything that I do as well, in terms of just the YouTube itself and you know,
dude,
all of those things. But
I'm so glad you mentioned my mate Vince, because I love his approach to repairs. It's so it's so pure. It's pure.
It's content. It's like sit on your sofa, relax, and just shut your mind off and watch Vince. He's amazing at what he does, and he's so talented, because he does so like an array of so many different devices.
Yes,
I don't know how he does it, man.
But it's
the
pure
guy
passion.
has a wealth of knowledge.
It's just pure passion.
Yes, exactly.
Like he's the epitome of being passionate about repairs and like getting excited about it. And you could tell he's not putting on a character really, but
there's no facade at all.
Exactly. Like you could look at it and say, oh, like he's playing it up. Like I can tell this dude is just hyped about repairs, and it's so entertaining and fun to watch. And
do you know what? Again, specifically Steve Tronics Fix and my mate Vince. You said about like what I've done for the channel and whatnot, and you admire that. What I admire from them is their work ethic. And they are people that I strive to aim my work ethic towards. Dude. If you look at my mate Vince, it's a couple of videos a week. It always has been. Tronics Fix every Friday afternoon. Honestly, dude,
I have the same.
Literally,
I have the same reverence for you, dude, because I 2 videos a week, 2 streams a week. That is, like, I don't think people realize how much work goes into those. Like,
it can be draining.
It is. it is a lot of work to edit. It is a lot of work to plan, to schedule, to have a work-life balance and a family. Not only just a wife you need to spend time with and you know, maintain your relationship with. You need to have friends. You have kids.
Yeah,
It
two
is.
kids now.
I
yeah,
am
two kids.
mind blown that you can get that amount of
I
content.
don't. I that aspect I don't really know how I've kind of kept it up. Yeah, the streams Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and then
You do
the
3?
Wednesday and Saturday videos. I do 3 streams a week, and then I do the YouTube videos on a
Joey,
Wednesday
you're
and a
crazy.
Saturday. And I only doubled the uploads for the YouTube videos when I went full time, because there's no way that I could have done it. When I was working at Rocket, the repair shop, it got to a point where I was almost making as much money on YouTube as I was in the repair shop.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm only doing JDT once a week, as in I was.
That was the amount of effort you're putting into it compared to.
Yeah. Because I was working Monday to Friday at the repair shop, and then I think either Saturday or Sunday would be one day for JDT, and I had to do everything in a day, profit or loss.
Yeah.
I had to do recording, editing, get it up for the next week.
Yeah.
And it was only one video a week at that point, no live streams, because I just didn't have time. Obviously, I was working a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I had to speak to my boss, and I said, Sean, I think it's time. I'm not looking to leave yet, but I would like a day back. So I'd like to only maybe do 4 days. So instead of just completely cold turkey, I said, let me just take one more day and let me have 2 days of JDT, see what I can do, and then see what happens. And my revenue increased for JDT, and it started to overtake the other one. So I said, unfortunately, I think it's now time. And then I started the live streaming. I've always live streamed since 2013 on Twitch, but it was playing games, and it was averaging seven viewers up until 2020. So I've done my time, and that's what got me confident in front of the camera.
That's what I was going to say.
People,
that stuff like pays off. Like I recorded for, like I keep telling people on stream, I recorded for I think almost 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years, without uploading a single thing. I just recorded just to like have the recordings and talk to the camera, just to get used to it.
And you were talking to the camera as well?
The whole time.
Dude, that's amazing.
I have like terabytes of content that's old, old stuff.
Are we ever going to see any of it? Is it going to be like...
I teased on stream that I might like release a video for fun one time, like as a joke. Just put up like my like horrible camera setup, bad lighting and everything.
That'd be amazing.
I mean, I had horrible lighting for my face cam up until like last week, so...
Yeah, it's these are all the little tips and tricks that I think as well, people when they watch, they don't realize what actually goes into when you're repairing. And I can't remember who I was speaking to the other day, but like this one workstation I have covers everything. It's like my business, it's the repairs. So trying to fit everything, the amount of plug sockets I have,
dude,
around this desk, the fire hazard
USB port.
Yeah, my computer can't take any more. It literally can't take any more.
If I have a problem right now where I have an extension cable for like just USB stuff, like just SD card reader and things like that, like anything I need to plug into my computer to read. My computer won't give enough power anymore to my USB stuff.
Yeah,
I have to,
I'm not surprised.
I literally have to plug in
honestly.
like the USB tester, the amp meter, just so that it like pulls enough power for my computer to power like the SD card reader. Otherwise, it won't work.
Wow.
I've like really maxed out my USB ports on my computer.
I would love to have. So do you have a separate like because you like to game as well?
Yes.
As I know. Do you have like a separate PC for gaming and stuff, or is this your one workstation?
I do.
Here?
So
and that's your
most of the gaming I do is with LA, like couch. My wife LA couch gaming. Like we do single player games and trade, or rarely we'll find a co-op game and play, but we mostly just watch each other play in like a movie kind of thing. I've got a PC, a media PC, but it's just a gaming PC I put on my TV upstairs. That is nice. All of my nice equipment's in there, because I want to like play nice looking games and stuff, but I really should. Now I'm editing and stuff, and I really should. Dude, I've started editing upstairs on the computer upstairs on my TV. Because
TV, like a 50-inch TV, you're there just edit. I mean, the screen's big enough though, right? That kind of works out for that timeline. I like that.
It's a little like,
give me ideas.
It's actually a vibe, like, because I want to spend time with LA more and stuff too, because I'm doing. I should get to that the mail-in stuff, because I'm doing repair, I'm doing web development, and I'm doing editing and YouTube and stuff. So I wanted to find times to edit and stuff, and it's nice because I can still hang out with her while editing up there, and even if we're not doing something together, at least I'm not in cooped up in my basement, editing all day every day.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so that's I actually started editing up there because I have better equipment and more RAM and stuff. I really should buy more. I gotta replace the
Stuff.
motherboard and everything. Every time you upgrade your computer, you have to buy everything because it's like the sockets are now different every year.
Yeah.
So I gotta.
It's a horrible trap. It's a horrible trap, and that time's only going to get shorter with the arrival of a new family member, my friend.
Yes, 100%. So part of that is actually I drew inspiration from you to get ahead of my content and schedule some stuff. So I've got a month of content ahead.
Wow, you're a month out. That's goals.
I'm working on 2 months.
Wow. Okay.
So hopefully, if we can get there, that's partially why I've switched to 1 video a week. I was doing 1 video randomly every 4 or 5 days when I could get one out. But I can't do that now. If I'm doing 2 videos a week I'm doing 2 videos a week to get one scheduled. For when we have a kid. But yeah, so everything you were just talking about is a lot of the reason why I've sort of slowed down on repairs as a whole. For local stuff, I stopped local stuff entirely because, for multiple reasons.
How did that work? Were they coming to your house?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, I was just marketing on so it started with just modding stuff. That's how I sort of started monetizing my repair work. It wasn't repair work at the time. I was just modding, and then I got so comfortable with the switches. People started bringing me their switches that they screwed up and stuff like that in the area locally by trying to mod them, or their kids would just like throw their switch. I had this one family. They had 3 kids. They had 3 switches for each of the 3 kids. I saw at least 1, if not all 3 of those switches every month for like 4 months in a row. I swear to God.
Wow.
I'm not even
good for cash flow.
Not even joking. The
nice.
Screens would break. Like I had one that was just like bent. I had to. I basically just replaced I had to replace the motherboard on it. And
so that's really interesting. So you started with modding.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Fine.
I started with modding. I mean, that's how I got my start with soldering too. Well, that's not true. I did some. The way I got my start with soldering was I used to make costumes for like Halloween. I would make like ridiculous costumes. I would like spend lots of time when I was younger making cool. Because I was a gamer, so I made a lot of like game specific costumes. So I did like the pyro from TF2 one year, and I made a flamethrower, like a butane flamethrower, and I was walking around the neighborhood with like.
Really? Jeez.
My parents
took it serious.
Yeah. I spent a lot of money on costumes. So one of the ones I did was a Daft Punk helmet. I made like the Thomas Daft Punk helmet with the LEDs with the animated thing. And there was a guy, I gotta find him because I need to thank him because he's the dude that got me into soldering. Initially, actually, my dad. I have to give credit where credit's due. My dad got me into. He handed me a soldering iron. It was the worst soldering iron you've seen in your life. Like one of those ones that plug in the wall and the tip is just gone, like all the way gone. And
so what did he do with that with soldering? Did he was it just tinkering stuff? Was it or
my dad didn't really solder. He had just tools around and he just wanted to get me inspired or whatever to do do things like that. And it worked. And I made this little like LED array, and I got to find this dude online. He sold like a kit where he just sold you the PCBs and all the parts and all the LEDs and everything. And then some of them you had to go buy yourself. But he did all the code for the animated LED display. And
I see. Okay, fine.
He made this little like plastic thing where you could put all the LEDs in, and it was like hundreds of LEDs for the LED array, and I like had to solder each of them with like enameled wire, like just every single one, like X and Y axis, bend all of the LEDs.
That was your first ever soldering experience. Wow.
And I did it with the worst soldering iron imaginable. I didn't know what flux was at the time. So
you didn't use flux? No, there was no flux. It was just
it was just
okay, fine.
I didn't even know you were supposed to use flux. I thought I was just horrible at soldering. I just I think a lot of people have this story.
A lot of people still think that. Yeah, a lot of people still think that. Honestly, I get that a lot.
But yeah, so that's where I got my start was with that stuff. But then it moved into the very first soldering job I did on like a console was I did an RGH on an Xbox. with that horrible iron and no flux.
I don't even know. I don't know what an RGH
It's like,
is.
you know, like J-tagged Xboxes back in the day. Like you had people had Xbox 360s where they had like custom firmware and could have all the games.
Okay, fine.
It's just
yeah.
it's like most modded consoles. But RGH is just
okay,
it was
fine.
a different way of doing it because there was newer. I think it was. It's been a long time since I've been in the Xbox space. So I'm probably people are gonna come at me, but I think it's
fine. It's fine.
Newer console generations, I believe, had different measures in place, essentially, kind of similar to how the Switch V1 had the RCM bug where you can old V1s, and then they patched it, but now you can install chips still in different ways.
Stuff.
Similar thing with the Xbox.
I've never done any modding. I've not even with the switches and stuff. I've never ever done any modding. The only thing that I did was I think I with a Game Boy DMG I upgraded the screen and I put like from retro modding and stuff, and I'd done some other little bits to it, and then I eventually sold that. And the only other thing was on a Nintendo Switch, what you were just talking about, RCM mode. I had to
I remember on stream
use RCM mode to.
Yeah, you were looking at the NAND.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
right, exactly.
It is. I have to say, like, so I started with Xbox stuff, and then I started doing Switch mods later on, and selling those once I got comfortable with it. I did a few myself. Like I bought consoles to mod and resell. Initially, because I wasn't like 100% confident and
so were they faulty? So were you buying them faulty?
No,
or were you buying
I bought them new,
working.
And I was like freaking out too, because I would buy like, you know, $400 here it's Canadian dollars, so I would pay like $400 per console. I bought like 2 consoles to begin with, 2 OLEDs, and first time I had ever done microsoldering. I had like my phone as my microscope mounted.
You started with brand new OLED switches.
Yeah, and it worked out. At that point I knew how to solder. I had flux and everything at that point, so I was confident in myself, but it was still very nerve-wracking dropping $800.
Nerve-wracking. I can imagine.
And
I can imagine.
The very first, actually, someone asked me about, because someone was like, "Oh, you seem like you're so comfortable doing everything. Like, do you ever like tell me about a time you like made mistakes or whatever?" And I brought this up. So the first one went well, and the second one I did purple screened, and this was before there was like information online about like the normal
different types of
issues that happen. Right? There was like some information, but I just like I just like had to troubleshoot the purple screen myself, like because
is it where you drill too far? Is that what it is? If you drill too far,
there's a resistor inline on the command point. Between the NAND and the SoC on the Switch OLED, at least. I think there's also one there's resistors on.
And they're quite close together, right?
So the issue is that they're really heat sensitive, because they're O201 resistors.
Right, okay, fine.
So if you apply too much heat for too long, they just go open circuit. So they just burn, and the resistance goes all the way up. So but it's really easy to do, like to burn them.
How did you work that out though? How long did it take? Did it take a while to work that one out? Or
hours, like just so long. Because I just checked I was just checking every point, because there's no visible damage, right? It's just the resistor goes open.
And then you're there like, does anybody have any purple screen Nintendo Switches?
I think what ended up happening
is information. Wow.
People at least had info about like diode measurements on each of the points.
Yes.
But then like people in the modding scene, for some reason, they use diode mode the other way around. They use black on ground and red on the point in the modding scene.
Oh, okay.
On the Switch modding scene, it's really popular. I don't know why. I don't think it's...
Maybe that's normal and we're doing it backwards. Potentially.
Could be. I don't think so, right? But I think that... Because the whole point of doing it backwards is so you're not powering stuff up, so you get a more consistent reading between devices. So people's readings are all over the place in the modding scene, because they do black on ground. Oh, I see. So it's just like sometimes it's bigger ranges. So they give ranges that the points should be, which is so funny. Like this is what happens in modding scenes, is like it's just stuff, it works because everyone just sort of works it out anyway. So it's not they're doing it wrong, right, for the repair scene, but it doesn't matter to them.
Doesn't matter
because it works.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it still works.
So I figured out that my readings were different on that point, and I managed to just I was like, okay, well, something's wrong with this. It's got to be this resistor. And then I looked up the value of the resistor, and it wasn't reading correctly. So I don't even know. I think I pulled out like I pulled apart like old phones I had, like scrap phones, to try to. I didn't have resistors like on hand back then.
Yeah, of course.
So I just measured in circuit like 300 resistors to find one that was the right value.
Find the one? Oh no.
I replaced it and it worked. But yeah, that was
nice. Exactly. There we go.
That was very nerve-wracking.
So was that decent? Was that a decent amount of money then in regards to the actual modding? Like, did you charge X amount for?
So at the time, you could sell them for like double the price of the console.
Wow.
So I was making like $300 to $400 on each of those.
Wow. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
wow, that's really good money.
So it was worth the risk for me. And that actually is what
definitely
that's what funded my tools back then when I was selling the consoles. I wish I did more back then, like, because I wish I was just on the grind and did more, because that was good money you could make. Now you can make, it's worth working on them and worth doing it. But nowadays I don't actually. So I switched from local stuff, like you said. I was doing marketplace and any way I could market online for local stuff, and it worked out really great because I'm near universities, two universities, so it's like a very student city that I used to be in when I was more downtown. And I would just meet people. I wouldn't have them come to my apartment. I would just meet people in the cafe below my apartment and work out everything. And I started getting repairs, and then now I'm doing YouTube and stuff. Like I still kept a lot of my customer base when I moved here, because I only moved like 20 minutes, so I still had a lot of people coming in person. But it was the same thing for me, like you said. It was like, fortunately, when you're doing it yourself, and when you create a business structure yourself, you kind of get to decide everything and how. You're not working necessarily for someone else's structure. Like you said, even though you still have your own kind of clientele that you deal with, and it feels like you're running a shop yourself, probably. It was
really frustrating because whilst that was the main angle, there was two other people working in the shop, and I used to sit upstairs. So I had an office upstairs, which was for like the recording side of things, because when you take into consideration me just yapping away and all those things, right? So that's circling back to that as well. So making the YouTube videos for Rocket Repairs, that was a few videos a week. So I had that, I was editing at work, doing the videos, the talking, the commentary and stuff, and then going home and doing Joey Does Tech.
Oh, dude, that's
so it was like for another channel. It was so much content, dude. I was like, my brain was just so like, and that's where I really started to see like a loss in the quality of my stuff, because I was like just so drained. I was like, and I didn't really care. I was like, I just need to make sure that I get these out on time. That was all I cared about. I wasn't really too concerned about the quality. But circling back to it, there was two other guys, and I was upstairs, so my customers would essentially come in. I wouldn't get a chance to see them, and they'd get served by somebody else. And if that person was having a bad day, then my customer would be upset, and that happened quite a lot. And when you work
relying
with a
on
team
other
like
people,
that,
it's not just you.
And you need to have that 100% trust. And sometimes notes weren't being left on jobs, so you'd start working on something, you find out actually they've been working on it for 4 days and hadn't said anything. And there was
dude.
So
this is
all
the
of these
exact
things
same
together,
thing as like the website development stuff. It's like stuff gets left, tickets get left, people get angry. It's like, whose fault is it?
And, like, you can only really fully trust yourself and your own competency.
Yes.
So I mean, I think if I was to go on my own, I think I would enjoy it.
Yes.
But I think the stress for that massively outweighs, and there's a ceiling. There's a financial ceiling. It's like,
that's the thing for me.
Get paid for.
That's the thing that I realized very quickly was like, so it just makes sense for me to focus on content a bit more and so I stopped doing local stuff altogether and just focused mail-ins, and it was awesome for like a little bit, because it's still great actually. I'm really enjoying it, but I went from maybe 3 things a day to like 2 things a day, or 1 actually. At first I was not getting a lot of mail-ins at first because my channel wasn't doing as well. It was early in the channel, but now I'm back up to the sort of 2-3 things a day.
Nice.
But it's
it's all through your website as well, right?
Yeah, it's all mail-in stuff, and that's like low throughput. Like it's still like, it's great because I get to just do
choose what you want.
I get
kind
to
of choose what you want to
yeah,
work
and
on
like I
stuff,
get to
right?
get stuff back to people quickly. I'm not like all clogged up.
Yep.
I have, don't get me wrong, I have so much respect for people like Alex and Booter, Computer Booter, and
Oh
Ace
man.
Console Repairs. Those guys,
Yeah,
their
yeah, yeah,
throughput they deal
yeah,
with is mind blowing,
yeah.
and
It's
they're
the same with
alone
Phil, man.
basically.
It's the same with Phil from the
Oh yeah,
coder.
the code, yeah, Phil.
Like he's
It's
he's
crazy the
again another
throughput they do,
honorable mention, man.
dude.
He
I'm sure there's
he taught me pretty much everything.
yeah.
For consoles, he taught me
Phil?
pretty much everything for consoles, man. Yeah, man.
It was
he was a real
it was definitely dude.
inspiration.
It's like I don't know how those guys do that. It's and do content on top of that. I mean, I guess they're streaming their whole day, so it's I guess it's not like depending on the people. Like Phil edits, Phil makes videos. I don't know how he does that and streams and runs a shop with that much throughput.
Exactly.
Um,
It's like Booter, man. I mean, if people would maybe find it easy to turn around and say, but he's working and he's streaming at the same time. People don't understand,
dude,
like
streaming is hard
the
work.
actual mental toll.
Dude does 8 hours a day. It's like or like
Yeah,
9
he
hours
does
a
a
day
full work
sometimes.
day. Yeah, he does a full work, and then he'll go home and he'll stream playing games. I've seen it.
Yeah,
He plays games as well on Twitch, man.
He's
I'm
awesome.
like, wow.
It's mind blowing.
So he's again. I think it's that there's another YouTuber. It's like one of his like slogans is like hard work beats talent, and I feel like that is just so true.
Yeah,
and connections are very helpful as well. Obviously, networking and stuff, but hard work beats talent any day of the week.
100%.
So,
Ace too. I gotta say, like I've been watching Ace Console Repairs recently too. The dude's like a machine. Like and I learned so much from watching Booter and him, because they have so much raw experience with the consoles, and it shows. Like even if like there's stuff all the time, regardless of who you're talking about, people are gonna know different things because they're gonna have different focuses. Like I'm coming from a modding background, so I have a really big advantage with being able to install chips to be able to read and write to the NAND and like figure out if there's NAND corruption and stuff. It comes naturally for me because it's like I've been doing that forever, and
you kind of work backwards with it, sort of thing.
Exactly,
You've just got the experience.
But
yeah, absolutely.
dude, vice versa. Like a lot of these guys, just raw like context for the boards and stuff is just priceless. And you gotta watch other people especially if you're doing repairs. Like you got to keep up with it. Like new consoles come out, and
it's not going to stop.
New revisions of the same consoles come out, and it's just man, it's a lot to keep up with.
I don't think robots and stuff and AI is going to have a massive impact on the soldering aspect as a whole and repairs in general.
No,
I can't really see it being a thing. So
I agree with that.
I think it's definitely here for the long run,
100%.
and it always has been, right? It's always been a trade that is actually.
Yeah.
I don't see AI or robots getting involved other than just like the actual source of knowledge.
Yeah.
I can't really see it being taken over. Sorry.
I do not see that happening, especially with like it's just this. It's kind of like the modding scene too, where it's a fight between the community, the repair community, or the modding community, and the companies making the devices. It's always this push back and forth. It's been the same for Apple with iPhones and jailbreaking in the past, where there was just people would figure out how to jailbreak the phones, they would patch it, they would figure out how to jailbreak it, they would patch it. But yeah, it's definitely like this tug of war that happens all the time, and I don't think you need humans for that to be able to figure out
absolutely.
I think
I agree. I agree.
It's just raw like it's like not dedication, but like just non-persistence, like non-stop persistence. Like people find workarounds. Like I have to give credit to Phil. I love what he does with his repairs, because he does a lot of stuff he doesn't need to do for the sake of a lot of work. He doesn't need to do for the sake of finding things out for the community. Like he'll do an SoC swap on a PS5 just to try it,
just to find,
like to see if it works. And it's already it's already past what he would be able to charge the customer for or whatever, and he's gonna do it for the sake of the community. I have so much respect for that. I've been trying to do that a little bit myself on the side. I'm trying to fill out notes and stuff, and eventually want to share with the community. But that's like a lot of work. You're like, that's crazy on top of content and keeping up with repairs. But yeah, for sure.
And I think there's I think in that respect as well, there's And Phil's demonstrated this and spoken about this on many occasions. You can't necessarily spend way too much time on one customer because you're potentially losing out on income. So you kind of have to have that cut off.
Yes and no.
So
in the sense that like if I find that like if you have a job that is difficult just because you can't figure out what it is, like it's one thing if you're spending a long time because it's just like it's going to take a long time, like trace repair. Like if you have a bunch of rip pads, there's a point at which it doesn't make sense. But like I feel like when it's more like diagnostics are taking a long time, that's in my opinion. Like I know Alex often said, and I used to be of the same mindset as Alex from Northridge who will, and all credit to him, he's got a lot of stuff to fix. So I don't have a back room full of GPUs to fix, so I can't talk. But the dude, he's gotta, because he wants to be able to do that amount of throughput, he's got to draw a line for himself. But for me, I was initially having that mindset of like I gotta just call it quits sometimes. But I realized that spending the time sometimes does benefit you in the long run, because if you're not actively like learning by watching other people or studying yourself or researching, that's your learning. That's how you learn.
That's where you'll learn the most.
The diagnostics.
I agree. I agree.
I think it's the most important things to be spending time on if you're just starting, especially, or if it's a device that you want to be able to work on that you're not super comfortable with yet in terms of like, or don't have the amount of context you should, or that you need to get repairs done. That's where you learn. But yeah, that.
So, are you now looking to keep it at 1 to 2 jobs a day?
Yeah,
or
I would love.
I
would love to just.
That's what you want.
I'm okay. I mean, it's starting to get up there with mail-ins. It goes through, obviously, like sometimes I'll get so many packages, like it's hard to keep up, and then sometimes it's super chill, and I can get more content out and stuff. But now I've worked out. I really weed out customers I just don't want to work with, like it's like that's the best part about running the mailing business is like it's not, I don't even weed them out by like I'll just give them, I'm not like giving bad pricing and stuff, I'm just like I don't want to work on that or like or I'll just say
the stress that's involved is just not going to be worth it regardless.
Dude, like people want to send me their phones and I'm like, I just realized like I shouldn't be doing mail-in phone repair because they're going to want their phone back. Like that's going to be real stressful for me.
Time.
And the amount of tools and stuff you have to have and stock you have to have for phone work is insane. Like I'm all set.
About this
I could fill my room and still not have enough stuff for phone repair.
I was speaking about this on Sunday on stream. It was that thing again of like people, because I have the profit or loss series where I buy things on eBay faulty, attempt to fix them and sell them.
Yeah.
And people are always wanting to see, well, I say people, it's a minority of people are wanting to see something different in those items. Whereas what I'm comfortable with is games consoles mostly. Yeah. And sometimes I might trickle out and get the odd laptop or graphics card as a free.
I think we're similar in that way. It's sort of the same for me.
But man, with the graphics stuff recently, I was going to
ask about that
box behind me here. But with the graphics card, you just need so much. You need to dedicate so much more time to learn about it, and you need the equipment, the PCIe rise. You need so many different things, and you got USB sticks coming out your ears because you got Matt's mods, and you got stuff for AMD, and it's like there's just different things for different cards, and every card has something different, and it's just, if I had more time, it would definitely be something that I'd invest more in because I think there could be some really good profits there.
Yeah, 100%.
But then I'm like, I've just been working on a bunch of ROG allies that I bought for £100 to £150, and I can sell them for £300 or so. And a few of them have just been simple BIOS issues, and
just
that
flash it
also
and make it to $200.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like I really have to pick and choose my battles. And at the moment, I feel like I need to stand up a little bit and say, look, I'm happy with the consoles. I'm happy with what I'm doing. But man, you know what the YouTube comments can sometimes be like. And
you gotta do the GPUs, Joey.
Yeah. It's the all caps. They get it. It's the all caps. Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna ask you. Do you have hate watchers? Do you have like those same 3 or 4 people who are always just coming at you in every video you post?
So
feel free to skip questions.
No. I'm completely open when it comes to this sort of stuff.
I know
I've
you
spoken about it before.
Yeah.
There is there's an amazing feature on YouTube, and it's hide this user from the channel. And what it does is it hides the user from the channel, but they are not aware.
Yeah, it still shows.
They can then continue, right? They can then continue typing,
increase your engagement, and
right. So I don't necessarily see it, but other people don't see it. Not just me. Like anybody who watches the video won't see that person's comment.
Yeah.
But they won't know they've been hidden from the channel.
Yeah.
So I don't use it very often.
Sure.
However, there have been certain cases where it will be the same sort of person,
right,
who will leave a comment saying, Joey, you need to stop this, man. Please do something different, or do something different in all caps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Repeat offenders in that situation, I will just hide them from the channel.
Sure.
And like I said, I've not had to use it.
Do they show up for? Did they still show up for everybody else, just not you? Or
no. That's what I'm saying. No. So they type their comment, and it could be a 3,000 character comment. Only they will see it.
Yeah. Okay.
So nobody else is going to see that. Nobody else on. So it's like a. They can still continue writing their comment and stuff, but only they are able to see it themselves.
To be honest,
and,
like I can't bring myself to do that, like for myself, because like I'm so scared of. And here's the thing: if there was one person on YouTube who I don't think is at risk of this, it would be you, Joey. So I do not judge you at all for doing this. But I'm so scared of my community becoming, and I think it's different for you because you're not running a shop, so you don't. I think it's
what are you scared of?
To be different, but I'm scared. I'm scared of my community becoming an echo chamber, and my. I don't think things are gonna get to my head in any way. Like that's not what I'm worried about. I'm just worried about like not.
What's an echo chamber?
Growing and not getting, and it's not like there are people who I think provide feedback right on my channel. I think there's two groups of people. There's people who and they both come across the exact same way. They both are rude and are all caps or swearing or they're, they'll really come at you personally and personally attack you. And it's clearly coming at you more than they need to. But there's two groups of people, subgroups of people within this I've found. One are people who actually have experience and are giving you advice in ways that, and they're holding you to a higher standard than they maybe need to because you're a YouTuber. Right. So they're going to get upset because you are the voice of repair or part of the voice of repair. So it's upsetting to them that, you're doing something the way they wouldn't, even if it's not wrong. Sometimes it's going to be something I do wrong. I'm not perfect, or you're not perfect. Nobody's perfect in the space of repair. And there's going to be things we do wrong. And there's going to be people who have experience with those specific things that are going to get upset about it. And I find that with those people, I actually really value those viewers on my channel a lot because they help me to recognize what I am doing wrong. Because and I can respond to them and I can tell who those people are because if I respond to them in a nice way, even if they, swearing and stuff in the comment, I can respond to them and start and open a conversation. If they actually continue that conversation, I know it's someone I maybe should be listening to. Even if I think I have to listen to anybody. I think I could hide all these people, and at the end of the day, it might be fine. But I can't bring myself to do it because I know I just can't pass up on learning opportunities from people who have experience. And I know there are people who don't do YouTube, who don't have followings, who have like 10 times more experience than I do with this stuff. So I try to find those people in my comments and I suck stuff out of them. Like I try to respond to them and get as much information about what they mean. And sometimes I do that and I'm like, I just don't agree with you. Or sometimes I'll do that and I'll be like, that's a good point. I should probably change the way I do that. But then the other group of people are people who just don't have experience and just try to come across like they do and think they know everything and they do come across like they have this experience, but as soon as you start digging and talk with them, they out themselves immediately.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm personally a firm believer in give respect, get respect. I've always kind of lived by that.
I can appreciate that, Joey. I don't judge you whatsoever for the way you approach that.
So if somebody comes at me in a YouTube comment and again, for anybody who gives me feedback in any way, shape or form, I like to think that I always not even take it on board because that's a lie, but I'll always read the comment.
Yeah.
And if it's something I feel is worth looking into, then I'll look into it.
Yeah.
But I cannot stand. I'm just somebody who really, really, really dislikes rudeness.
Yeah.
And belittling. I just in general, I really, really, really dislike it.
Yeah.
And it was the same when I was at the company that I worked at for 9 years. I didn't care what kind of level you were at. It was more so, just treat everybody with respect.
Yeah.
And I like to think that the reason I have the community in JDT that I have now is because I stuck by that rule.
Yeah.
So if somebody
agree
comes
with
at
that.
me and because with the live streams especially, those people are also going to be watching and commenting in the live streams, and I don't want that person to ruin anybody else's day. I'm not about that. So if somebody leaves a comment on my videos and it's just I'm just going to say a rude comment, because you can give feedback, and I'm okay with people giving feedback who might sound a little bit,
intense,
their backs up a little bit, and they're just like a little bit stressed, and because I think it's fair to say, and I don't know how this is going to fly. People might really not like what I'm about to say.
No, go for it, Joe.
There's a stigma, I believe, in people who worked, especially in IT support. So when I worked at my old company, and the kind of stigma around people who worked in IT were like, they're very in themselves and they don't like to talk to people, and what's the word that I'm looking for? They're very introverted, right? So that's the kind of stigma. And I believe that the same sort of stigma carries over to this tech repair world. I think that a lot of people are quite introverted, and we like to kind of just crack. I'm guilty of it, where I kind of like to just sit in my room, work on a device,
all day,
speak to people online, and do all of those things. But I kind of like just being on my own in that regard. I miss some of the connection with people face to face. Like when I was in the shop, and I think like socializing is a massive skill in my opinion, and when everyone went through lockdown and all of that stuff happened, a lot of people lost their ability, including myself, by the way, to actually talk to other people. I actually found it quite difficult. So but I also enjoy my own company. I can sit for hours on end, watch a film on my own, or you know what I mean? I'm happy with my own company, but sometimes I do crave a little bit of other things. So I feel like the same applies with people in the repair space, in what we do. And I see those people come through in comments. This is what my whole point was getting to, by the way. And when I see those sorts of people in comments, those are the people that I give the benefit of the doubt to. And I just kind of, I try and reply with a nice comment and see how they respond as to like what you were saying. And then based off their responses, where I then
figure out where to take that.
Right. But I mean, it's just, I think, the biggest issue that I have is when people are just straight up rude. When there's all caps, and because those people, I don't think it's they're good for anybody, not just myself, but anyone else who's reading through the comments and those sorts of things. I don't think anyone's going to want to be
I think that does. I think you're totally correct that you've built such an incredible space, and it feels like a little bit of for me a safe space in the repair community, and because you've cultivated such a chill environment with people who are not rude. It feels like you can go on the stream and there's nobody's really, people are going to make fun of you sometimes, or like, there's going to be some banter, which is going to be the case with any community, and that's good. But like there's not going to be it's impressive, to be honest, because especially in this space, in the repair space, because this space can be extremely toxic if you let it, or
very opinionated.
Very opinionated. And that's what I'm trying to
that's
where I'm trying to sort of draw the line, is the toxicity I don't necessarily want to indulge. I'm okay with it being on my channel personally. Like even in streams, I've had some people, they said, I was working on a customer's device and someone was coming in and saying something like, it's funny watching YouTubers try and fix things. And he was just, doubling down on that. And I personally, I kind of like indulging that a little bit on the stream, and like it's funny to me. I'm okay with them coming in there, and like they weren't fighting with other viewers. It'd be different if people were coming at each other and there started to be fights and stuff in this chat. That's different.
But I'm kind of the same. Honor the conversation. Like what why do you think that? Like why do you have that?
I love that. Actually,
opinion. One of the let's talk about it, right?
dude. One of the I gained so much respect for you. One stream you were I can't remember. There was some, there's all sorts of drama popping up these days in the repair space, but it was one of the things that came up, and someone said something about it on your stream, and I kind of like I was sitting back and I was like, I wonder how Joey's gonna handle this.
You were like,
and you just sat forward and you were like, let's talk about this, and I was like, I did not expect that. Like you were just ready to dive into it. I appreciate that a lot about you, even though it is like a, you've got a family friendly channel going and you've got like a safe space for the repair community and stuff to hang out. You're real and you're raw with your content, and you're not putting on this character or anything. You're totally straight up with your audience. And I have a lot of respect for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I think there is, when it, I'm not going to say it's a facade, because I don't think it's a facade, but
there's the YouTuber
when I was younger,
thing.
I always wanted to get into like acting. Is one of the things that I would love to do when I was younger. I never kind of pursued it in any way, but I guess live streaming gives me the out for that, in terms of I get to be a little bit more fun, and it's a little bit. And my whole aim with it is to actually, and this didn't come until quite later on in the whole live streaming career. It was people who were turning up day in, day out. Even when it was like when I had that small amount of viewer base of like 7 people, the same people would turn out, and I was like, you know what, this might be like it is for me, a bit of an escape for people, to actually just switch off from everything that's going on, a little bit of your, the stresses in everyday life, and actually enjoy something like, how we used to like TV back in the day as a kid and stuff. Like, this is the new thing. And I remember thinking, well, if that's the case, I have to make it worth it for them, and just like in those scenarios, you have to kind of,
that's a cool perspective.
You have to, right. So you have to kind of put on that little bit of a, I'm not going to say, happy all the time, blah, 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 because there's times in my stream.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Where I'm down and I'm like, I cannot be bothered, but I'll work through it like anyone else would work through.
Yeah, but there's
some of the stuff. Not everyone, but
I think there's a big difference between that. That's not really what I mean with a character. Like, there's a big difference between, I think you're being genuine still through it. It's not like it's not you. You're definitely you probably don't react and talk to people the same way in your videos as you do to your wife. Like, I doubt that. But it's not
real life.
It doesn't mean, but it doesn't mean you're being fake or having a character that you're putting on. You're making a video. You're making a polished video.
Yeah, I'm just
that's enjoyable to watch.
I'm kind of just addressing people in a different
way. It's a different medium
that I feel like people should be addressed when I'm live streaming, because that's like how I would live stream.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like you said, I'm not trying to portray a different character or this kind of fake person.
Yeah.
It's just, I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't speak to my wife like that, but I'm obviously going to portray myself in a certain way to people who are watching me stream, who turn in, like they come here day in, day out and support me, watch me. Like, the community is incredible.
But this is the case.
Honestly, the live streaming community. I honestly, I have no words.
I agree with that. I did not realize
the support that I get. Honestly, I cannot. It's something that, as somebody who's been on Twitch and in the live streaming space since, like I said, around about 2013, I've always had a community that have just been so ridiculously supportive, even when it was such a small, tight knit community.
That's awesome.
There was a I don't know if you know about Tidder.
No.
Or Tyler.
No.
So there was a guy who I done the odd live stream for Jerry Does Tech.
Okay.
Not as often as what I do now, but it was like maybe once every few months. I would just jump on YouTube. It wasn't a Twitch thing, because I didn't simulcast back then. It was just purely YouTube.
Yeah, just YouTube.
And there was a guy who, in the small community of Jerry Does Tech, I'm talking under 1,000 subscribers, 7 viewers on YouTube. I'd be opening a Game Boy, or taking a Game Boy apart or something. And there was a guy called Tidder, aka Tyler, and he came from the Retro Future, aka Elliot.
Okay.
And it was because we'd done like a Christmas live stream.
Okay.
And he found me that way.
Okay.
And every single stream, Tyler would show up. Every single stream. And it was at a time where I was a little bit just concerned about the viewership and how JDT was going.
Right, because you're putting a lot of time into it.
Dude, I wanted it to succeed so bad. I was so desperate to just succeed in this space. And he would come in and he'd be there. Not only that, his first time that he came in, it was like a $50 super chat. And back, I was like, what's happening? Like, what's actually going on? Why have you just given me $50? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Every single stream I done, he would contribute in some way.
Wow.
But I'm going to try and honestly say this as like as genuine as I possibly can. was not about the contributions in a monetary value. It was about him
and his
being there. And I had other people, Crusander. There was a bunch of other people that would turn up. He was one of those people. We spoke a lot on Discord, like back and forth. And it got to the point where he actually became a friend.
Oh, wow.
He had a business in Texas. He had a business in Texas of like computer IT stuff.
Okay.
It was a small business, but he was extremely successful.
Cool.
So I then kind of lent on him for a bit of like business advice, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, well, what do you think of this? And, you know, we'd speak almost every single day. And Tyler was, I think he was, I want to say like early 40s. So he was a little bit older than me.
Sure.
And he would just give me such good like life advice, and we'd speak about certain things. And then one day I want to say 2023. I could have my dates wrong here. It was like 2023 September. I hadn't heard from him in like a month. And I was like, this is strange, because we talked
all
pretty
the time,
much every day. And he was there for me, like when I really wanted JDT to be a thing, and I would tell him pretty much everything and how everything was going. He sent me like, this is from Tyler.
That's from him? Oh, cool.
That's from Tyler from Texas.
I've been wondering about that.
To me from Texas. Like
That's
he's
awesome.
one of he just didn't care about the shipping costs, nothing like that. He just sent me this stuff, and like he meant a lot to me because we had gone back and forth, and he was so much more than just somebody who watched the channel. He was a really, really big part as to why JDT is where it is today. I'm 100% serious when I say that. And then I posted a TikTok video, blah blah blah, and it was like a repair video or something. I got a message on TikTok of all places, and I read the message and I was like, wait, what? I was like, no way, that can't be real. I was really taken aback from it, and it was his son who said, just to let you know, unfortunately, I think like I used to watch you loads with my dad, and I just want to kind of say thank you for like, you know,
whoa,
it gave him like an out at work and stuff, but unfortunately he took his life. And I was like,
wow.
And I completely lost it, because my wife knew about Tyler and the impact that he had, because I used to speak to her. I speak to my wife about everything.
Same, everything.
Right?
Wow.
So I speak, and she knew who he was. She never met him, never spoke to him, nothing. And he was going through some serious personal stuff. Sure. And I was I checked in on him maybe 3 or 4 times. I sent him a message on Discord saying, hey man, not heard from you for a while. Is everything okay? And I didn't even think that could obviously be
even in the realm
in any way,
of
shape, or form, a possibility. I didn't think just because of the guy that he was. How I can't tell you how positive this guy was. I can't tell you. He was such a legend. And that's when he done something, and his son reached out to me, and then we hosted a charity stream on his behalf for Mind, which is a charity in the UK.
Cool.
And it's about mental health and the struggles that you go through and stuff. And I think it was the second charity stream that I'd done, and it was February 2024, so coming up to nearly 2 years ago now. And his family and everything came like and watched the stream. Like, they were all so watching it, and it was an amazing thing. And I think we managed to raise, I can't remember how much it was precisely. It was around about, I think it was about 11,000 pounds or something in one stream.
That's crazy. That's cool.
It was a lot of money.
That's heavy, dude. Though that's intense. Wow.
But that's like one of the. No. It's all good, because I don't know, man. Like the only thing is that I wish, again, he was around when it was like, you know, that 5, I think max like 5 to 10,000 sub mark. But that was the longest point of JDT, was like that 3 years. That was 3 years. Like what's happened of in the past grind. 2 years is like exponential growth, but. That 5 to 10,000, which is where, you know, this was everything that I wanted. He was there for that, and I just wanted to be able to turn around to him now and say, "You told me I was going to do it." I kept telling him
it's because of you, kind of thing.
And you know, it's just one of those things. That's why this will never leave the backdrop ever. No matter where I go, this will be there.
That's a really sick piece to have. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Did he make that? Or it was like a
he purchased it.
Okay,
he purchased it, and then
that's so cool.
And then had it sent. But yes, it's
a good wall piece.
It's one of the many things, man. Yeah, it's one of the many like pieces of the jigsaw puzzle that I kind of think went into Joey Does Tech. And honestly, when it just kind of motivated me more to just, I don't know, prove a lot of people wrong, And
yeah, wow.
because I'm kind of guilty of that as well. I was told when I was working in the business that I was working in, just the corporate world in the energy sector. Somebody told me once that you'd never own a business because you don't have, what we were talking about being too nice and like those sorts of things.
Wow. Someone
they
told
were like,
you that?
You're not going to do it because, because they were like,
stick it in their face.
You're not going to have the oomph, you're not going to have the oomph to be able to do a business.
Okay.
And I thought, and I think that's a big driver. It's like, it's a weakness, but it's also a strength, I think, because
Dude, it's a strength.
I shouldn't really care. I shouldn't care what somebody else thinks, though. But then I'm also like, wow, I need to prove you wrong now.
Yeah.
I think that's where the gaming aspect.
So that was like, I see. Okay, yeah.
Like the competitive side.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
But,
dude, I have to give you your flowers too for me, because like, I don't think you realize the level of encouragement you gave me early. Like I was early. You found me when I was like, I must have had like 2,000 subscribers or something. Like
I think it was less.
It might have been like 1,000 or less than 1,000.
Dude, yeah, I'm dead.
You found me like real early, and
but I knew straight away, man. I knew straight away.
You just started like encouraging me.
The type of person you are, man. I knew the type of person you are. I knew you're a hard worker. I could just see you were a hard worker, man, and that resonates with me. So I completely saw it, and the reason why I done it, and the reason why I reached out and said it, is because of Tronics Fix did that to me.
Mm-hmm.
So he put out like a community post.
Okay, yeah.
When I was on, I can't remember how many subs. It was like 1,000 or something, and he said, "You need to check this guy out. Blah blah blah. Really really good videos. If you like my videos, you'll like his." And yeah, I thought to myself, as soon as I saw your channel and what you were about and the type of person you were, I said, this guy's going to make it.
Dude, that meant a lot to me too. And like, I think it did a lot, I think, for me to feel like I knew people in the space too. Like even it was like a few messages you sent me early on, and then you would interact with me on streams and stuff. And it was just very, thank you for that. 'Cause it was really warm welcome immediately for me. And, it's been, like you said, the repair streaming community, everyone who's like hopping around to each other's streams. Like I'm always seeing Andy and James and all those guys.
Andy's killing it at the moment as well.
Yes, yeah, all their streams are awesome. I've been enjoying watching them. I never was into watching streams, to be honest. Like I only really watched. I watched long format content, but it was mostly videos. Like Soren's really long, repair videos and things. I loved that sort of stuff.
How can we forget Soren?
Yeah,
that's the thing about talking all these channels, right?
There's too many.
You're gonna forget something. You're gonna forget something. But shout out to Soren, man. Yeah,
huge shout out to Soren. Biggest channels I watched early were Richard from Learn Electronics Repair. He was big for me. That dude has a way of explaining electronics and circuits that it just resonates with me. I can easily learn from him.
That's why I recommend people. That's where I recommend people to go when they say about getting into repair. I link them to. I've got a video, and in that video I say I'm not going to go into the in-depths, on like Ohm's law and circuitry and stuff. But there is a channel that you will
love.
Yeah. I link him to I link them to the playlist.
Dude, the Learn all you need to know series, dude. That I'm rewatching it now because I'm going back through it because he's just got so much stuff in that series. It is. I know there's a lot of views on it, but it is still so underrated in my opinion. Like people need to watch this thing. And Lewis, of course, was huge for me early on, and Alex from Northridge Fix and Tony.
I wish I had half of the cojones that Lewis has. I wish I had half of his cojones, man, because honestly,
dude,
I respect him so much in that regard.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. I really, really don't know how he does it, honestly.
Dude, he what's mind-blowing to me is how he can I've always been someone who, like we talked about with group work at jobs with managing multiple people or making an impact on a wider scale. Like for me, it's always been I need to I only have so much I feel like I can control and do, and like for that's me and my repairs, and that's my little space I can kind of like make my happy place. But Lewis, this dude can is so dedicated to making an impact on the biggest scale possible, and I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. But he's got
a big purpose, man. He's got a big purpose. That right to repair, honestly,
for sure,
crazy amount of stuff that he's actually done with that is absolutely insane.
Like I don't
spearhead that.
I don't like what's it called, like I don't like watching like politics or like people who are always like trying to like make a change kind of thing. But Lewis is like an exception, dude, because for me, because he does make a change, even if it was crazy the Clippy thing, how widespread that got.
Man, even now, bro, I see Clippies everywhere.
And it's in my opinion, the most important thing is not making a change in the laws necessarily. I think he would probably hate that I said that, but I take it back, Lewis. But what's most important to me is changing the people, right? And I think he sees that, and he's chasing that now mostly because he's so fed up with, I think, how much work he's put into changing laws and actually getting legislation moving.
If you said to me like who would you say is a top tier influencer, I would say Lewis Rossmann.
Oh yeah, easy.
He is an influencer.
Easy, yeah.
To the T.
Yeah. And people like, and I couldn't pick a better face of repair, to be honest. I'm gonna say 100%. I think he's kind of the face of like YouTube repair.
He stands up for the little guy as well, man. He stands up for the little guy, and that's what I love about him. That's one of the things I really, really love about him.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think he wants to be called that or anything like that. The dude's like, he hates, being put on a pedestal.
He's mega humble as well. Yeah. He's really humble.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah. I really like Lewis. I would love to shake hands with that guy just once and just say thank you. That's all I want.
Yeah, he's done a lot for the space, and I think there's not a single person who is on YouTube who is into tech repair that does not know who Lewis Rossmann is.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
And that speaks volumes about his impact and his influence. Yeah. I know that he probably doesn't like the word influencer. I completely understand that, but he has a lot of influence.
Oh, he has a huge influence, and like his he's cool. I wanted to ask, how do you feel about YouTube Studio right now?
And about YouTube Studio.
How it maybe you don't have the same experience I do.
How the 1 out of 10 impacts my sleep?
Yeah, dude.
Is that what you need to ask?
Yes, I need to connect on this because,
bro, it's the worst feature I've ever seen in my life.
Brutal feature.
It's the worst feature I've ever seen in my life.
Me too.
I've had 10 out of 10s that after 3 months have been 1 out of 10s.
Wow. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily a.
Yeah. I need to
I think it takes away. No, you're 100% right. I think it takes away from like people exploring outside of what their usual videos are, especially for me. If you think I profit or loss is a big reason why my channel is the size that it is now. Yeah. I was scared. There was a point I was scared about posting live stream videos. One thing I like to try and do now is work a little bit smarter. And whilst I'm doing a live stream, I'll turn off the music, and I'll convert that into a video. Whether it be profit or loss or something else.
Yeah.
And at the start, I'd see him tank. I'd see 10 out of 10, and I'd just get
the live stream videos.
Yeah,
you couldn't have said this at a better time because that is exactly the videos that.
Can I be honest with you?
Can
I be honest with you?
Yeah.
So I saw one of your most recent live stream videos.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was the first one that you've done.
I think it's the first one. I only done one. Yeah.
And I went through the comments because I've been there. And I genuinely, I'm serious when I say this. And I was looking through, and I think I saw a couple of comments. I think one of them specifically was like, I'm not really a fan of this of
the live stream
this content
or whatever.
Yeah. And I saw it, and I should have messaged you. And I just remember thinking to myself, man, I was here, and I know exactly what it is about. The way that you can get around it and conquer it is, honestly, I think the best thing is going to be to put your own little spin on that. How you done your intro before is perfect. I think you need to kind of set out. If you just jump straight into live stream, people hate it. People
people need some context.
Audiences might be different. Our audiences might
narrate
be different
it
in that way.
That's what I've seen you've sort of.
There's a really successful channel that I have watched only to study, not because I actually enjoy watching the content, because it's just not my thing.
Sure.
But it's about F1 racing.
Okay.
It's like Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And what he does is he live streams, and then he makes, and this is all he does, as far as I'm aware, and there might be a few different exceptions. He takes the content from that live stream and puts it into a video. But what he does is he pretty much creates a whole new story from that video. So the clips, the A-roll essentially is just him streaming, but he's narrating and giving like backstory and driving it. Yeah. So he's like driving it as a video, which is 100% the correct thing
The
to
correct
do.
way to go.
However,
Yeah.
very time consuming.
Yeah.
So that's when you get into scripting.
Yeah.
A-roll, B-roll,
I was going
all
to talk
this
about
stuff.
this, dude. I
Yeah, man. Honestly,
hate
but link
scripting.
it back. We'll do it one at a time. I'll answer the studio, YouTube Studio. I think it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
I'll start with that. But that's where I stand with YouTube Studio.
I agree with that. Here's the thing: is I think it's amazing the data you get. Just so people understand what we're talking about. If you haven't made content or seen the YouTube Studio, when you post videos, there's like this little block that comes up on your screen when you first go to YouTube Studio. It's like your analytics and how your video is performing, and it's always your last video how it's performing. And at the very top, there's this X out of 10.
Hey, this is some B-roll you can add. A little show you could just
There's a X out of 10. Oh, that's true. I should put it up. Yeah. There's a like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. It'll show you how your video's ranking. I think it does based on the previous videos. And I don't even mind like getting a 10 if it's just sort of a filler video I was happy with or whatever. But if you put like work into a video and you spend time editing.
Bro, I'm going to call this now. I reckon one of your filler videos was your AliExpress hauls, and they do well.
Bro, one of my filler videos was my biggest video right now. It's the wick video. Why you suck at wicking.
Yeah,
I was like, I got to get a video out. I literally I just sat down.
Bro, that was such a good video as well. I watched that one.
You.
Yeah, I watched that one. It's such a good video.
You. Yeah, I just sat down and I was like, I need to get a video. I was like, people hate wicking. Okay, I'll make a video about wicking because I like it now. Yeah. I used to hate it. So I was like, easy. So I just talked about it for a bit, edited it, and threw it up. I spent literally all of 30 seconds on that thumbnail. I went and I was like, I had the video uploaded. I needed to get out like the day after, the morning after, so I had to get it scheduled. I was like, Ellie, I'll be right back. I gotta make a thumbnail. Like I just went into Photoshop. I was like, wick, and I just removed background. You suck at wicking or whatever. Why you suck at wicking? I just threw it up. But yeah, that was a filler.
No, your thumbnails are very clean, man. Your thumbnails are very clean.
Oh, thank you.
They're you.
Thank you.
That's the most important.
That makes
thing
me happy that you think that because.
I recognize that with your brand. I see those thumbnails. I think of your brand. It's as simple as that.
I appreciate that.
Don't change that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the goal. I at first I trying to see how far I could push the bar with clickbaity stuff and see test things out. And
there's
I think
there's a bar.
There is a bar, and people will tell you there's a bar. People will let you know that there is a bar. But it's okay. Like I'm glad. I want my thumbnails to be representative of the content I make and stuff, so it makes me happy that you said that. But yeah, anyways, so that and not only that, the 1 out of 10 thing, but underneath that 1 out of 10, and Joey knows this, there's arrows that are green and they show that your views are up or your watch hours are up or whatever's up, or it's this gray, like gross gray looking down arrow. And it is, you can tell.
The thing that gets me is the confetti. Yeah. That's what gets me. If you get a 1 out of 10, just for context, if you get a 1 out of 10, you get like a party on YouTube Studio. It's amazing. You see all these stars and like confetti and you're like, I've done such a good job. 10 out of 10 is grey. It's grey, it's grey, it's grey. It's depressing. And I think you'll be able to vouch that if you're obsessive over YouTube, which I have pretty much always been, it's for me personally, and it's definitely not healthy. I wouldn't recommend it. It's one of the first things and last things I do before I go to sleep. I literally open up YouTube Studio and I'll just be looking at everything from the stats, the comments, and everything like that. And it's not a healthy addiction, but it definitely happens to me. Yeah, it definitely happens to me. Especially when things are going really well. It's a refresh. Look at the views. I can't believe it. Blah blah blah. And you feel on top of the world. But then the time it's really tough when you're not doing so well.
Yeah, it feels good when the work pays off. But like it's so clear that studio is designed to make you feel that way. It's curated to make you bend to the
instill
algorithm.
Those feelings in you. Yeah.
Right, 100%. Like, and I think that can be a really good thing, but it can also be a horrible thing. Like if you let that
it depends how you react.
Your content. Exactly.
Right. So it depends on your response.
It takes a lot of self-control to just continue making stuff you enjoy making, and because I could just make unboxing videos all day, I'd have 1 million subscribers probably. I could just only make AliExpress unboxings, buy stuff all the time, review it, do little like Christmas
That video done
openings.
really well, man. That video done really well.
Yeah, I mean, but like people eat that stuff up, but I like I make that content because I like making it and I like watching it, but I don't want to just like I don't want to just
There's
make
a channel out there,
unboxing
actually.
videos.
I don't know if you heard it, called Jacob R.
No, I don't think so.
Really, in terms of like YouTube numbers and stuff, definitely one to take inspiration from.
Cool, yeah.
Just buys random stuff, AliExpress.
Yeah.
He'll buy like fake PS5s and like those things.
Oh,
And just
that's
unbox
cool.
them and
But
test them.
That's like project
And he
videos and
does-
stuff. Yeah, I like that stuff.
Right, and
yeah.
he does those sorts of things, and they're amazing. I mean, if we're giving credit to other YouTubers, quick, what Macho
Please
Nacho?
do.
Have you seen Macho Nacho?
I don't think so. No. Dude,
If you have,
I'm kind of
if
under
you
a
have a
rock
spare
with some
40 minutes,
repair content.
if you have a spare 40 minutes, there's a YouTube channel called Macho Nacho Productions. Go and watch
Okay,
his
I'll look him
latest
up.
video on the prototype of the Xbox original console,
Okay.
and how when they showcased it, it was an X, and he
I haven't seen it.
recreates
I'm
the
seeing it.
console. You've seen it, or
No,
you
no,
going to-
I haven't
did you
seen
say
it.
so?
I'm seeing the video you're talking about. I'll
Bro,
definitely watch it.
that. Holy Lord, the glove. The guy is the production level. That's when you take it to another level.
Oh, he's
Watch
got
that
like a.
video. Just put it on a watch later.
Okay.
And when you're like, whenever it is, you're gonna
Yeah.
watch your YouTube
Sure.
videos. Watch that one, man. It's honestly, it's absolutely
I will.
incredible.
Thanks for
Amazing.
the recommendation. Dude, your
That's
content
okay.
for me is like huge inspiration for like quality because I like how to be honest with you, like a lot of polished repair content can't personally watch. Like and no disrespect, but like I love Linus Tech Tips as a dude, but I can't watch that kind of content. Like it's super high budget,
Really?
polished stuff. I just can't do it. Like I need this at
You need
some
the raw.
level of
You need the raw.
genuine person
Yeah.
behind. And I'm not saying like Linus and his team is not genuine. That's not what I mean. It's just not my thing, content wise.
It's a style of content.
sorry
That's
about that.
literally all it is. It's a style of content.
Yeah. It is a style of content, but one of the things I really like about your stuff and that I've really drawn inspiration from is, dude, there's a lot of repair. There's on the opposite end of that. I can't watch like total disorganization, and just like 10-hour video where there's like maybe 1 hour of something happening in it, like this kind of repair content. There's a lot of it's one or the other for me. It needs to be somewhat engaging and like it can be totally garbage resolution and I don't mind, or it's like really good resolution and there's something and like good production, but there's something engaging happening that feels genuine.
Man,
it needs to kind of be one of the two at least. But
story is key, man. Story. Key. It's one of the things.
But you, for me, are
that's the whole
epitome of both of those things. You somehow somehow have great production quality, and it doesn't sacrifice you don't sacrifice how genuine you are in your stuff. But yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say about story?
Yeah, it's all good. I appreciate that. I mean, it's I didn't start off like that. Like, it's come from a lot of fails. Like, I started with a Logitech C920 webcam, I think, as my face cam, and the point down camera. So that was the point. I had it back to front. So I had it like flipped vertically, so my hand would be coming from the top of the screen. And I look back at it now as my first video. I think, what was I thinking? But I just, again, it was the work ethic more so. It was like, okay, I messed it up. Let's go again. Let's do it better.
Yeah.
Okay, I messed that up. My audio sounds horrendous. How do we turn that around? And everything people see now, like, is just a tribute to the thousands of pieces of content that I have messed up on in my past. But I
can tell, dude. It's a culmination of a lot of learning from your side.
It is. But in terms of, again, Tronics Fix was my aim. That
Dude,
was like,
his
I took
production
so
quality is
much
just
inspiration
impressive.
from Tronics Fix. And it was back then.
Yeah.
So like, I watching his videos, I was like, that's my aim. I want to be there. I was looking at cameras. I was like, okay, what camera does he have? And blah, blah, blah. And I just remember like, I was kind of so numb to it back then, like how much actually goes into it. Because you look at it and you're like, it looks so simple.
Yeah, it's always
like it's just
so
just a
simple.
camera. Like it's just, and then you start getting to logistics and you're like, oh, I don't have anywhere to hoist the camera. Like,
this is way more complicated and time consuming
right.
than
And then,
I thought.
actually, I've got like, it's like, my desk is against my wall. I can't put any cables down there. It's just like basic stuff like that.
Not to mention
that actually
being able to put
takes a
words
day.
together in front of the camera that sound as good as those polished. I mean, dude, I don't know how you do it. I I don't know how I know it's because of lots of experience and a lot of content you've made, but dude, like even your streams, it feels like I'm watching an edited video. Like it is mind blowing to me how you can like
do you know what? I don't see many people in our space doing well. They certainly didn't, other than Phil. Phil was like the spearhead to it all when it came to live streaming. That's where, like, you know, I first saw it from a repair perspective. Like I said, I've always been live streaming from gaming.
Yeah.
When it comes to actual repair, and when I started Joey Does Tech, and like I said, I'd done the very early live streams in 2020, 2021. I'd done like one every couple of months.
Yeah.
But Phil was a person who I consistently saw when I was working my full-time job and I wasn't streaming consistently. I was like, wow, he's smashing it. This is definitely something that I want to dive into.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just taking inspiration, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But you have to make it your own.
Yeah, of
you
course.
Don't just copy.
Of course.
You obviously, and that's what you would do, and other people would do. Like, you take inspiration, you take these little bits, and you just build this puzzle, and you make it your own puzzle.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with like Phil and Northridge Fix, and everyone else, Tronics Fix, and all those great names. And
sure.
Yeah, when it comes to live streaming, oh man, it's a totally different game, as you're probably finding out now, right? Because that's what you're leaning into. Yeah, exactly. Man, that's what you're doing. How are you finding? Let me ask you a question. How are you finding it?
Dude, I'm loving it. Honestly, like all things set, all things out of the way. First few streams out of the way, and things really fun. Like,
'cause you were nervous, man, right? You were nervous. I remember you saying to me.
Of course, yeah. Dude, we'll get into that in 2 seconds. But I just have to say, like, the community is just such a... I just love it. I wouldn't choose any other community after having, like, interacted with everybody in the space. You, JFix, Andy, like, I could name so many people who have just been, like, just so fun to be around and a part of their streams. And it's a community. It's not just like this... I thought content creation was just going to be sort of more of a one-sided thing, but the streaming has really opened me up to a world of being able to learn more from other repair technicians who I know I can trust because I see their work. You know what I mean? Like it'd be one thing if I was getting a lot of advice.
It's a great marketing tool.
And
it's a great marketing tool.
Also that, it's good for getting. It's really great actually being able to do repairs in front of people. For sure. That's actually one of my favorite parts about streaming. I thought I was going to be stressed about this, but my customers watching me do their repair, this happens almost every time now. If I stream a repair, almost every time the customer's because it's people who watch the channel who send me stuff. So they're watching the thing I'm repairing in front of them. But I thought I was going to be stressed out about that. I love it. It is one of my favorite things because
let's go, man.
Dude,
yes.
I can ask them questions on the spot.
Right,
I could be like, hey, what was this? Like, can you tell me context about this? Or if I, the things where I would sometimes need to wait 24 hours for a response from them because I'm like, oh, like, cause I'm not going to out them. If I see they're in the stream, I'm not going to, if you're sending me stuff, I'm not going to.
There's rules. There's hidden rules. Yeah, there's hidden rules.
I'm not outing you or doxing you as my customer, but if you initiate and you're telling me, oh, that's my device, like I'm going to go with it and have fun with it. So that's been really fun. And the community, like I said, has been super fun. But yeah, dude, streaming at first was, the shakes. You can't hide them under the microscope, dude. You can't.
I think as well. Like when I first started, I think I had Tronics Fix come in quite early, and man, when he came in, that was it. It was game over for me. Because he was my biggest inspiration. So when I saw him come in,
he came in the chat.
He came in the stream. In the chat, Elliot, the Retro Future, told him and said, "Oh, by the way, my friend who really he watches you, he loves watching your content, blah blah. He's streaming. Can you pop in and say hey?" And he popped in and like donated $5 and said, "Hey man." And I saw that, I nearly fell off my chair.
Just heart falls out of your chest. Yeah.
But like you said, going on to that, I don't obviously do repair as a service, but the free repairs. So like that's technically a service. I know that. I think for me, the reason I do
you're working on
because
customer stuff at that point.
Yeah, right.
To some extent. Yeah.
It was my way of going. It's not stressful. They're not actively paying for service.
That was smart. That's a really smart way of approaching it because that's a great way to like. That's a genius. And you're very clear. I think I saw I don't know if it was a form or a landing page for your free repair stuff, but you're very clear that it's not like
I've got there's a bunch of T's and C's and stuff that I had put in place and just made sure that everything was up and running. But it was more so, and I've been again very incredibly open and honest about this when it comes to, people you're doing free repair for the content, and absolutely there's a point and a reason for me to be doing that. I mean, YouTube is a big part of my business. Content creation is a big part of my business. So
that is your business.
I saw it. I saw it as like a win. It was a win-win. I was like, if people can't afford to get there because of like personal circumstances, and I was like, maybe I can also make stories out of these.
Yes.
And I started off by saying, if you have an interesting story, submit the form and we can work something out.
You're genius, dude.
But yeah, that's where that idea kind of came from, and I was like, I can do the live streams and make a story out of it. And some of them done really well. Some of them didn't, but one of the biggest ones I have on my channel, it was a Pokemon.
The Pokemon one,
Switch.
yeah,
right.
The story behind it, like you said,
right, exactly. The build up and all of those things, and that I kind of done that, and I was like, wow, it's going to work. Like I can really.
Do you find that people, even though you did you have all the terms and conditions and things of the free repair thing, and you're very clear that it's like, it's a free repair. It's not like
it's more like a goodwill thing.
And it's really not the same as a paying customer where like you owe them something. You know what I mean?
Right, like, and there's no SLAs, there's no time constraints, and I make it very clear, and I say, look, this could take 6 weeks.
Yeah. But do you find that having switched to that kind of content, you have more people who are getting stressed out in your comments or things when they'll like see you do something they don't like? Because like when you're doing, maybe not, but when you're doing just buying a console,
as in because it's a customer job.
Yeah. Do you get any kind of like, because it's the customer's device, do you feel like people are holding you to a different standard than you were before? Because
I've never had it.
You haven't had that? Wow,
I've never had somebody say, Joey, you're working on a customer's device. Why are you doing X, Y? I've never had it.
Really?
And I stand firm. I genuinely believe it's because the way that I view Joey Does Tech and the sort of audience that I want in Joey Does Tech is mistakes can happen.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I love that.
Human.
I love that you push that.
Like I've never turned around and said it must be done this way, that way. Like even with the Skool stuff that I'm working on at the moment, it's like, well, it's the Joey way. Like you're doing this for the way that I do things, and I continuously say, there's so much free content out there. There's 1,000 different ways to do things. There's no right, there's no wrong. If everybody gets to the same conclusion, some people's work will be messier, some people's work will be tidier, but if you get the console working, then it works. Like, and I've never had anybody, and I still to this day, I don't know why, really, but I've never had anyone come in and say, I can't believe you're doing that with this person's console. Like, why haven't you put it on a cloth, or why haven't you, the little things that you think people might say. Yeah. But it's because I like to think I'm, again, just open, honest, reasonable with those things, and I'll never be like, I'm the best at this, blah, blah.
Of course,
because I'll always have something to learn, and I feel like trying to encumber the community to be exactly that. Like, you'll always be learning. You'll never know it all. You'll make mistakes, but it's how you learn from that mistake that 100%. will make you stand out.
The one, I totally agree with all that, and I think that definitely applies a lot to the area that you're in, where, like buying and reselling things, like, you're working on your own stuff, kind of thing, or even the customer devices you get in, because it's not a paid job, so it's not like you owe them anything at all. It's just for free, and they know, anything could happen sending you the device. It's not like a guarantee. Neither is normal repair work, but like, I think, where I would draw the line with that is, like, personally, is like charging a customer for messy work is hard for me to see and to get. I get devices sometimes from that customers have brought to other repair shops, and I mean, I don't have to tell you this, you've seen this sort of stuff too, but like, where dude, like, I got a PS5 a couple months ago. They brought it to like a pretty big repair chain up here, like well-known repair chain, and they charged the dude like $200 for an HDMI port repair, first of all, which is like, that's a little bit pricey, first of all, for me, for an HDMI port repair. And I opened the console, and the HDMI port is just like, it's off of the board. I mean, there's like globs of solder on the like anchor points, but the thing's just loose. I mean, the solder's not actually on the pads, and none of the pins are on there, and the thing is a mess. And the dude got charged $200, and I'm like,
wow. Like, so was it working and then it stopped working, or
I don't think it ever. They just charged him. Like it worked. Maybe it worked for like minutes or something. I don't know if it did work. I don't know how it did. But dude, like I get stuff, and it's not just this. Like the worst is modding. I
can imagine, actually, yeah. Because I can imagine modding.
Dude, I get like nightmare consoles, and they've been charged. I mean, sometimes, a lot of the times, actually, I have to say, it is the person who's sending it to me who did, you know, the screwed stuff up a bit and stuff, which I'm okay with. Like, who cares? Like, do what you want to your own stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But when you're charging someone $200, and I see this is
it's
how
really
it
tough,
looks,
man.
It's hard to have that perspective that you have. It's really in those tough. Moments, you know.
I get a lot of them, and they do well as videos, because it's like, somebody messed up, and I think a lot of people want to see the that little bit of tension as well between me. What am I going to say? But I kind of, again, remember what I said earlier about being on the fence and stuff. I don't like to call people out, and I don't like to from a business perspective.
Yeah.
I don't like to. I don't like to raise any big concerns.
I never name
especially
businesses. Like I'm never gonna point out, like, even if it's someone like really well known, and people make the argument like, oh, like people should know about that. I'm not gonna be the one to tell you.
I think you have to give. I think you have to give benefit of the doubt. And what I do is, I had one recently actually where it was exactly the same, and they'd been charged by this repair shop, but then the repair shop refunded them and everything.
Yeah.
And I it was a really bad job. And what I said, look, just I talked him through everything again, like I try to do, and say what I would have done maybe a little bit differently, and what they could have potentially done.
Sure.
And I just say, just send them the video, because then at least they get that as like feedback. And if I start going, oh my God, what have they done? I don't want to say to them, oh yeah, watch that video, because then I'm slating it. How's that person going to feel at the end of the day? Yeah. Maybe they had a real bad day. Maybe, they were at the end of their tether. Yes, it applies for different circumstances.
Yes,
so
it applies differently.
They had refunded the customer, and it was one of the, and I'm like, okay, well, clearly they've done the right thing there, right?
You can totally, as a repair shop, you are going to have instances where you overstep your comfort zone or boundaries without trying to, and then there is a point at which you can make things right, like, and if people do that, that is, everyone should do that, like I need to do that. I there are points where I need to be like, I point people towards, and this is my favorite thing about the repair community now, is I know people now who do all sorts of kinds of repairs. So I'm like, go to Tony. I can't reball your GPU, and I don't have a rework machine. Like, go to Tony. Go to,
who specializes in GPUs. That's what he specializes in. So like having that.
Yeah. So I love, and same with Erkin. I don't know if you know HGD Recovery Services. The dude is, I love this guy. I would love to chat with you and him. But this guy's incredible with data recovery stuff. He's just like,
fine.
I went and visited his.
Now I see some of that stuff, and they're talking about platypuses.
Yes.
And like all of those things, man. I'm like, wow, like these things look crazy. Like the little needles and stuff. Like somebody's DJing. I'm like, wow, man, this looks like incredibly sensitive stuff. Like,
but yeah, if I get people who are like, I need hard drive recovery, I'm like, I do not want to touch that. I don't have the tools for that. Like, go to Erkin.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like back to the streaming thing quick, like it's definitely been, it was interesting at first. I had one particular stream where dude, like I get like so tunnel vision when I'm streaming. Like when I'm making a video, I'm just talking to the camera. It's like, it's chill. I'm so relaxed. I can do the repairs like I normally would or whatever. I had this one stream where I just get so like I don't know, I get in this streaming mode where I'm like looking at chat, and I'm just so distracted with trying to do a stream and make content that I just go like so incredibly slow with the repairs. Like it's
Bro.
painful sometimes to watch my own work and go back and watch me. I had one where I was replacing this FPC connector for a Switch OLED, and what I had done is I screwed up out the gate. I screwed up because I just pre-tinned the connector, which I don't do anymore. After that video, actually, I used to just.
Do you take them from donors?
No, I'd buy new ones from Mobile Centrics. Yeah, I get them on a tape reel.
Okay, fine.
And I had done that like at least 15 times before. Like it's not like it was the first time I was doing an FPC connector,
Yeah.
but I put it in a little board holder thing, like a chip holder, and I was telling people like, don't tighten this too much, kind of thing. Like you just want it to hold it in place, and I don't. It's good. I tin the thing, and I go to unscrew it, and I just screw it in, and it just bends. Like the connector like bends up a little bit. And I'm like, I laughed it off. Whatever. I just told you guys not to do that.
So that's what you're not meant to do. I'm just showing you as an example as to what you're not meant to do.
No, I was like, I screwed up or whatever, but I was like, I only had 2 left, and I knew I had to use one I knew I had a package where I needed to use the other one. So
now the pressure ensues.
I was like, I need to make this work. So, or I got to tell, or I have this whole thing where I got to tell this customer tomorrow because I got to wait. Fortunately, I get fast shipping from Mobile Centrics, so they'll shoot me stuff in a day, which is nice. But anyways, the thing was all bent up, and I was like, I unbent it, and I was like, oh, it's fine. Like I thought it was flat. It was still a little bit curved. Dude, I spent like an hour trying to put this stupid thing on because it with hot air and stuff, it wouldn't it wasn't flat, so the solder wouldn't take on the pins no matter what I did. And so then I was going in with like I just needed to make this thing work, so I was just going in with like an iron on each pin. Everyone in chat's like thinking it's the funniest thing.
Man.
It was the funniest
that's the thing as well, like,
to be fair.
Exactly. I mean, live streaming is for those moments. I know it sounds stupid, and when it's a customer device, you can there's a little bit of pressure there as well, especially. But that's why I think I chose the route that I did for A, the free repair, and B, the consoles that I buy and own myself. Yeah. Because I don't have any responsibility.
Sure.
So I can do what I want to those consoles.
Sure.
Which when I was streaming, I think was like when I entered that streaming world, specifically for tech, I didn't have that pressure of messing up on stream for somebody else's device. And instead what I was able to do is practice my craft on devices that I owned. That took a lot of pressure off. Then by the time I got to doing the free repairs, it was like bread and butter for me. It was like, I've been so used to doing it now, I don't have to worry about that pressure. So I think those moments are what live streaming should be about. I agree. It's different
I agree with
to
that.
long form content.
Dude,
and that's why I take my time. People say, Joe, are you going to get on with a repair? And I'm like, look, the first 30 minutes of each stream, grab your coffee.
Hanging out. We're talking.
Just relax. How's everybody doing today? I just like to kind of, but
I love
and if people don't like it, then, unfortunately, I hate to be this guy now. It's something that you learn as you do more and more. It's like, well, I'm not going to change that aspect, I'm afraid, because that's where I'm comfortable, and that's what. Just because one person's saying that, actually, there's 200 other people who enjoy that little chat.
Dude, I agree that's what streaming is for to see the mistakes and how long things actually take. And it's like I'm actually really, like you said, the last video. I'm actually really I liked the comments on my last video. The stream that I edited down, it probably worst performing video in months, but I loved there was a few people one person who commented, I personally don't like the streams, and then another person who said the stream was better than the video I edited, which I loved. That made me so happy because it's actually validating for me that like it's different types of content that different people are going to like.
It's different, man. It's 2 completely different types of content.
Yeah, it's just such a different medium. And I that was actually, as for some other people, that might be really make them upset or feel discouraged from that kind of feedback. But I was like, oh, good. I was like, I think I responded when I was like, good thing I do both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's true though. It's 100% true. There's a lot of people who watch my videos who don't like to watch the streams
or vice versa.
Maybe it's, not everybody likes everybody, so people might see my personality in the streams and they're like, this is a bit too wacky for me, because I am a little bit over eccentric and all of those things. So I'm different in my videos because actually 9 times out of 10 my videos are just me.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm on my own. I'm a bit more calm. I'm a bit more focused, and there's a bit more logic to my repairs rather than just, you know, the chaos that ensues with chat and me talking to chat and all of these different things. And yeah, so it's two different, it's like you said, two completely different types of content.
Sure.
But I feel like the audience that watch the streams, they are a core audience.
Yes.
For your brand, they are.
I agree
honestly,
with that.
I love.
It's been really nice.
Who watches my streams.
Yeah, it's been super nice. Like I said, that going back to what I said about the community, it's just been really cool. Yeah, building up the core audience and interacting with them every week and stuff. But well, Joey, I appreciate you for coming on the podcast. The first one is a blessing to have you on for the first one.
I feel so honored.
I'm gonna let you go and get to your coursework. Joey's got. Can you do a plug, please?
I've got something going on at the moment. It's on Skool.com, Skool.com/JDT. And if you're interested in how I personally do my repairs, that is going to be the place to hang out. There's a free option and there's a $99 subscription option, which gives you access to all the courses that are available. Currently, there's only one course available, but I'm working on that, and it gives people a bit of one-to-one time with me as well. So if you're somebody who wants a bit of a dedicated, you know, I've got this specific problem with this console repair or whatever it is, then we can hop on a call. We could talk about it, and I've done that with one person already. They said it was, you know, it was really worth it. So that's what I've got going on at the moment, just to add another spanner into everything else that's going on.
Everything, just because you need one more thing to work on, Joey. I know.
Right. But it's that thing. I'm just, you know, experimenting.
Dude, it's awesome.
You know,
the space has needed that kind of course thing for a while. So it's cool that you're doing that. Well, thank you, Joey.
Thanks.
I will let you go work on that and
Appreciate it.
hang out with your family and stuff. Peace,
Thanks, man. See you later.
See you, man.